everyone. Hey, in this video we are finally showing the waterfalls of Tamanique. It's a beautiful setting, pretty much between two canyon walls with multiple waterfalls pouring in. Lots of vegetation hanging down on the walls as well. My guide Ricardo led me down the path. It's a very steep and unforgiving path, I'll tell you that, down to the basin. Once there, I was able to use the GoPro and the gimbal setup for a lot of the footage. Standing there in front of the waterfall, you can feel the force of the wind and the mist coming from that waterfall. So it's pretty powerful. And you can see in the video that Ricardo, he's standing pretty close to it, some of it. And so it really, like blows his clothes around just a little bit because of the pressure. Okay, then we launched the drone for the aerial shots. Now the drone was doing fine, and I'm still learning definitely on this thing. And yeah, probably not the best place to go to fly a drone when you're in the learning phase. But launched it, got some beautiful shots of the waterfalls and the canyon walls. And then I lost sight of the drone for just a moment while I was watching the screen. And you gotta keep perspective. And one of the guys I was talking to about the drones is to have a spotter, which is a very good idea for a situation like that. I didn't really think about it. And anyway, it got too close. It sort of drifted into one of the walls, clipped some vegetation, and spiraled down into the water below. And we both searched for it for a while. I thought it was probably maybe hanging on one of the branches up there, but I mean, really we lost sight of it after, when it happened. And so we wasn't sure. So we did search for a while. We could not find it anywhere. And it was a very disappointing way to end that part of the trip, but we had to move on because we had to get back up the canyon to the town. And it was going to take a while. Yeah, next came to climb out. And I thought, I got this. Go slow, stop once in a while. But no. Geez, it kicked this old man's butt. When we finally got to the top, the local police gave us a ride back the rest of the way into town to the guide's office. I really appreciate that. I mean, I was about at the end of my endurance for sure that day. It was terrible. They were having a big lunch that day, so Ricardo and I got to eat, and that was sort of like an unexpected deal. I figured I was going to go buy him lunch or something like that, and they gave us a lunch. And Mom, I cleaned my plate. I was hungry. So yeah, it was good food, very good food. Talked to a bunch of the people there. There were politicians for the event, and then there was a bunch of the city officials there too. So picked up some new subscribers, probably because I look like hell, just climbing up out of that, up the side of that canyon. It was dirty, muddy, looked like crap, and they probably wanted to see what else this gringo's got going.
Yeah. Amiga, rápido.
Ants.
Amiga.
Hola, de Tamanique, El Salvador. Mucho gusto.
And anyway, so we wrapped up there, and I told Ricardo after it was over with, I said, hey, there's a reward for the drone if you can find it. I mean, I've only had this drone for a month, so I put a reward on it. Hopefully it was going to be intact. I mean, if it had hit hard against one of the walls and broken an arm or something, then it'd be maybe a little bit more to fix, and then come to find out it landed in water, and that was not a good thing for sure. But challenge accepted. He was going to do it. Hey, this is JD from JD Off Course. I have a YouTube channel here in El Salvador, and yesterday I lost the drone down by the waterfalls, and Ricardo was able to find it and get it back to me today with the help of all these guys. It's amazing. I appreciate you very much. Thank you. Okay, we're going to run up to Tamanique and just sort of see how the situation has changed since the last time we were there, and see how the roads and stuff are. All right, enjoy the ride. I think that boulder was there the other day, maybe. Bunch of rocks being pushed over to the side of the road back there. This right here, is this the clinic?
It's the Red Cross. Red Cross, you know?
Yes, Red Cross.
Cruz Roja.
Cruz Roja, Salvador. Okay.
You see the whole ambulance. Very cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay.
Hi, this is my school. This is my old school from kinder until high school. My public school.
And how many kids went to this school at a time?
Maybe like 200.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's all of Tamanique.
Not all, because we have another little school.
Yeah?
Yeah. Clínica.
Clínica.
Clínica
Okay.
pública. Clínica is waiting for you.
Hola.
Hola. Hola.
Hola.
Gracias.
Hola, muy buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Raquel Ayala, soy la directora de la Unidad de Salud de Tamanique, de acá del municipio de Tamanique. Tenemos 4 unidades de salud dentro del municipio. Está la Unidad de Salud del Casco Urbano, que es de Tamanique, la Unidad de Salud de Buenos Aires, la Unidad de Salud de San Alfonso y la Unidad de Salud de El Palmar. Entonces, todas ellas brindan atenciones a este municipio, a este lugar. Atendemos aproximadamente en esta unidad de 45 a 50 personas diarias, divididas entre, se les dan atenciones odontológicas, se dan atenciones médicas, se dan atenciones materno-infantil, se brindan atenciones de vacunación, tanto como del esquema regular y de COVID también. Tenemos atenciones también para la zona turística, que es de El Tunco, donde atendemos parte de los turistas también que vienen a visitarnos, y de las zonas de las cascadas que vienen. Aquí podemos recibir a cualquier paciente, están bienvenidos, y también tenemos tomas de laboratorio los días lunes y tomas de exámenes de ginecológicos, como lo son la toma de citologías, las tomas de BPH, entre muchas más. Y estamos con una buena disposición de atender a todos los pacientes y muy alegres de que nos vengan a visitar.
Muchas gracias.
Okay.
Okay, a few days later I drove back to Tamanique. I'd made a friend up there, Diana, and talked to her about doing maybe a walking tour, and she said, sure, come on up. So it's like 30 minutes from where I'm at now, and I wanted to see how the road conditions were and just sort of see the countryside after the tropical storm had rolled through. And yeah, driving up there, you could see where they had been doing a lot of work with skid steers and moving stuff, boulders out of the way. There's fresh mud and dirt on the sides that is left over from the other stuff that had already slid down. But made it up there, got Diana, we started walking around. She showed me, you know, the different businesses, the different homes. You know, there's different styles. We saw some like even American style homes up there. There were the Red Cross was there. Had a pretty cool old ambulance. I like that one. Then we walked out to one of the rivers that's flowing through town, and it was just roaring right through town. We stopped at the public clinic with one of her friends, is the doctor there, Dr. Rachel, and she told us a little bit about what she does, the operations of the clinic, and a little information. Also, we went by the school, and there's 2 schools up there, and Diana said that the one school that she went to handles about 200 kids, and it goes kindergarten through high school. And there is another school, she said, but it's a little bit smaller, that's up there in Tamanique. And so after that, when the kids go to college or whatever, they're riding the buses. And there's bus service up there. You can go from Tamanique to La Libertad. I think it's like 40-something cents, but it takes quite a while, and it's a school bus basically. So it's not, it's probably not the most comfortable thing, I'm sure, and there's a lot of curves and hills and everything else that you'd have to navigate. Anyway. All right, hey, I just want to recommend the waterfall experience up there at Tamanique. You have to have a guide to go. It's like $20 or less to do the guide thing, and you really need it because I would get lost trying to find it, and because it's confusing going down through there anyway. Lots of twists and turns. But I want to thank Ricardo and the whole team there of the guides for an excellent experience. It was beautiful to see all that and get to video it. And then the lunch and then the recovery of the drone. Very nice experience there. And it turned it from a negative where we lost the drone to back to a positive. And I really appreciate that. And I'd like to say, Thanks for the likes and the comments, subscribing. And if you haven't done so yet, please click the subscribe button and ring the bell, as they say, because there's more videos coming out. I'm working on stuff. I try to have stuff every week out, something new about El Salvador or some of the stuff that's going on down here. And doing those things will help get you notified that, hey, there's something new. And you can come hang out with me for a little bit. But thanks so much, and I will see you later.